Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. So today we are going to revamp and redecorate these chairs. These came from Facebook. They were a Facebook post and they were literally just £20 for the chairs. There's 4 chairs and a table. So what I've done is I've popped them outside on the decking area, put some newspaper down, and I'm going to first of all start and cover them in a layer of the Annie Sloan Paint. And I'm going to use the same original colour that I used before. So that's the other chair there. Carl's just doing a barbecue while I paint them. And the girls are chilling. Here comes Phoebes. And so I'm just going to get set to painting them now. So I've given the table and all 4 chairs the first coat of paint. I'm going to let that dry and then I'm going to give it another coat as well. So the chairs have had a first coat of paint, that's dried, and I'm just going over them again with another coat. So it's a couple of days after I started the first layer. This one, the first one here is done, so I'm just going to let that dry, and I've got 3 more chairs to paint and also the table. So I'm going to do those, do a second coat, because if you can look here, they do need a second coat, and this one's just had the second coat but it's just drying. So what I'll do when that's dry, I'll distress them and we'll give them the shabby chic look. Right, so it's the next day now and both coats of paint are completely dry, and I've just moved them back outside onto the decking area. So what I'm going to do now is just sand them down, like distress them. Now what you can do is you can do like a light sand over the top if you like a more smooth finish, or you can just like roughly, you know, sand down the edges just to give it that shabby chic finish and just leave the rest. Okay, so inside I've just had a look through my napkins, and I've picked out some designs that I want to use or that I'd possibly like to use. So I like this one, but I don't think that's quite right. So I'm going to go for this kind of colour because I want it to match in with what I've got inside the house already. So I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put the detail yet, and they are actually going to be covered with seat covers, but I still do want to put the detail on the chairs just in case I take them off or I want to, you know, don't want to cover on it or whatever. So I'm still going to decorate it underneath. So I've got a sander. Now you can use normal sandpaper like this, and just sort of roughly sand the edges down where you want to distress, but I'm actually going to use the sanding mouse as well. So I want to take some nice bits off on the corners. So let's get started with that now. Right, so I'm just going to show you now on a chair how you would sand it down. Now some people leave it as it is. Some people do a light sanding over the whole lot if they just like a smoother finish. Some people leave that and just distress. So it's completely, you know, your choice and what you want to do. So you take a bit of sandpaper, and what you want to do to give it a shabby chic effect is to kind of distress the side. So it means taking off some of the paint that you've put on. Now start off quite gentle in doing this because you don't want to sort of go in at a bull in a china shop to start with, and just get the feel of how it's going to come off. And as you can see, it started to lift a bit of the paint off, and what you do is you just kind of do it here, there, over the piece itself. There's no set rules as to how to do it or how much to do, how little to do, where to do it. It's just where you think you want to distress it. So you just go over the piece like that, here and there, and that will be the first stage. And once I've done this over all the chairs, we'll move on to the table. So the chairs are done. I finished them all, and I use the mouse sander because it would have took me ages to do it. So they're all finished, and I'm just going to start on the table now. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing with the table. Run the sander around the edges, and if there are any like bumpy bits, I'm just going to use that as well. But first I'm going to brush the chairs down just to get all the dust off, and move them to one side. Okay, so I've got my napkins here, and I've just had a little bit of a play about with them to see where I want them to go. And I'm going to use this one here, this small design here. I'm going to pop that at the top. So I'm just going to take that little part off there and put that in the middle. And then this one, which is virtually the same design, it's just bigger, I'm going to pop that, I'm thinking either in the middle or down into the corner. You're not really going to see this that much, but I'll kind of know it's there. So for those of you that haven't done this method before, what you need to do is you can cut your design out to start with if you want, and then you'll need a paintbrush. So I'm just going to do that now and show you. You'll need some water and a paintbrush. And what we're going to do is go around the design with the paintbrush. And we do it with the paintbrush because we want like a frayed kind of jaggedy edge. You don't have to do that. You can just cut it if you want to, but I like this method. Now, because it's going at the top there, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out part of the design. So we'll use the water to do that. And then all you have to do is to pull it very carefully where you've put the water, and that just separates it. Now, normally napkins are 3 ply, which means that there's 3 layers to them. Okay, so that's the part that we're going to be sticking on at the back, but this will be 3 ply thick. So if you wet your fingers, can you see there that there's 3? So I'm holding it in the wrong place. There's 3 parts to it. So 1, 2, and you want the top part. That's the part that we want. Now, with that, you then need some cling film. Okay, so you just get your cling film ready. Now, I find this is the easiest way to do it because I end up getting in a bit of a pickle. So you also need some Mod Podge, and I'm going to use, hang on, I've got the wrong one. I'm going to use the matte one. Let me just get that one. So the gloss one's in the orange, and that leaves a shiny finish. And then this one here leaves like a matte finish, so it's not shiny. So I'm just going to pour some in the lid, and then this is what's going to stick it to the top. So I'm just going to pull the camera up slightly so you can see exactly where I'm going. So this is the brush that I use for Mod Podge, and work out where you're going to actually put it. So, and it doesn't matter if it's not exact, because this kind of method it's just about having fun and doesn't have to be perfect. So I always put some glue where I'm going to stick it. Get your napkin and then stick that on there. Get your cling film. Use the cling film as like a barrier, because if you press on that too hard, you're going to rip the napkin, because it's only one ply now and it's got glue on it. Okay, so once you've done that, just carefully peel it back, and then you can see that the design is now on the chair. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit for you so you can see. So there it is now on the chair itself. So I'm going to leave that to dry. Once that's dry, I'm going to go over it again with another layer of this glue just over the top. I'm not going to put any glue on now, because if I do, I'm going to rip the napkin. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I shall do exactly the same on all 4 chairs, and I'm also going to put a little design, or a bigger design. Let me just scoot down here and zoom back out on this chair. So we'll do that now just so you can see. So I'm going to use this napkin. Now this is all personal preference. People might say, oh, I would have put it at the bottom, or I would have put it in the middle. So we're going to do just exactly the same thing with this napkin. I'm just going to get this here just to protect it. Okay, so for this, I think I'm going to leave that top part on, because I think that looks quite sweet and we've got the room for it. So I'm just going to leave that part on there. And again, you can put as much or as little designs on that you want. It's completely up to you. It's up to you where you put them, how you want the look, and then just do exactly the same. Sorry. Just rip that round. You have to be quite careful though, because it is really delicate. Right, okay. Right, so we've gone round there. Now let me look if I like that extra bit on it. Yeah, I like the extra bit, so I'm going to leave it on. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing again. There's 2 pieces there actually, if you can see. So I don't need those bits. And roughly work out where you're going to put it. I really can't decide whether to leave those bits on or not, but I am going to. Get my cling film and my Mod Podge, and just kind of eyeball it and put the Mod Podge where you want it to go. Now I know that people do water down PVA and use that, so if that's what you do, then go for it. I use Mod Podge, but that's completely my choice. Okay, now this is hard to do because the camera's there, I'm not looking over the top. So I'm going to pop that there. Hopefully it's there or thereabouts. Put my cling film over the top, and then with my fingers, that bit's buckled a little bit there. See, this is because it's so thin. That's it. Just smooth it out. Pushing from the centre outwards is the easiest way. Now what I'm going to do as well is put this napkin with this design here on the corner of the table, so they all match in, and then just peel that back very carefully and you can see the design. So I'm going to just bring the camera back and zoom out so you can see the chair as it is. Okay, so I'm going to do all 4 chairs now in exactly the same way, so they're going to look identical in that respect, and then I'm going to do the corner of the big table. Now it's time to put the wax on the top. I'm just going to get a cloth and just apply the wax all over the chairs, and once I've done the chairs I'll do the same with the table. And here we are, here it is all completely finished, and it's now in my dining room. So what I've done is I've also put on the corners some detail with the napkins, as well as I thought the middle bit just looked a little bit plain. So I'm just going to pull out one of the chairs now just to show you how they are. So I'm really quite pleased with how they've turned out, and I think it all blends in really, really nicely together. Right, so I found a piece of this tablecloth down in the craft room, and I think I bought this from the range a while ago, but it's just about the right size. So I've also put the seat pad cushions on the chairs here. I think they look quite nice, and obviously the colour in those is in this tablecloth, so they match quite nicely. And all I've done is just put that little vase that we made in the Teacher's Present series just in the middle of the table, just for now, just so it's got something in there. So that's it with the tablecloth on. Okay, so this is my Welsh dresser. So this is a project that I upcycled a few months ago, and I've actually put that on the channel. So I'll link that in the description down below in case you want to see that. So it just started out as a really dark piece of furniture. So up in the loft, I have quite a lot of boxes of teacups and cake stands that I actually made and put together for Phoebe's christening about 6 years ago. And as I say, they're all kind of like boxed up when we moved, and I sort of just left them up there. Now, these are the Royal Albert pieces that I've got. A few of these you'll remember from my birthday video. So we've got obviously that little set there. We've got the teapot, the sugar pot, and the milk jug, which are really, really pretty. And the colours that I picked, they're kind of the colour scheme that I like, really. And then we've got the yellow one there. Now I bought these a little while ago, and we've got the nice little teacup there and the small plate underneath. So I don't know if you can see the little plate that goes with it there. And then that was a teapot that I got for my birthday. And with these I bought, at the time I bought 2 of the blue and 2 of the pink, and also the large plates as well. So if I just carefully take one of these down to show you, and one of these little sets, they go quite nicely together, I thought, as a little set. So yeah, so I got those. Now we are actually going to a different vintage shop next week, all being well. We're going to have a look around there and also try some slightly different paint as well. And I've also got a giveaway, some bunting that I've been sent very kindly from a shop on eBay. I bought some bunting myself, and they've also sent me a pack to give away. So look out for that, because that will be coming very soon. I'm going to do another little video of some sort of hearts and things that you can decorate maybe your Welsh dresser with if you've got one, and we'll also include the bunting in the giveaway for that too, so stay tuned for that. So thank you very much for watching this. I hope it's inspired you to upcycle some projects of your own. Hopefully, all being well, we are going to go to a car boot sale this weekend if time permits, just to look about for some little bits of furniture, maybe some little pieces of china or something that would look really nice on my cabinet. I have got, as I say, quite a lot of cups and saucers and things up in the loft, but if there is anything nice there, then for a good price I will pick it up. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're all well, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.